if you were not considered actively at work, you lost your benefits. Even though he was being compensated, he had no benefits, and we did not know it at the time. And so that's when it became my ministry to just get the word out. And back in 2016, I met a woman at a meetup event, and she told me what it was that she was doing. And I said, well, that's interesting because I already do it, but now if I can actually sit down and help people to implement it, that's even better. And so this is where it all started in 2016. I've been with the same firm since then, gotten my investment licenses, so I am a fiduciary. And so you may hear that word being thrown around, make sure you're speaking to a fiduciary. So what that means is that I have to put my clients' needs before my own. Not that I didn't do that before, but now it's legal that I have to do it. And if I don't, they can sue me in court. But I've always put my clients first because that's what's important to me, to make sure that their needs are covered. And I tell people the best life insurance that you have in place, or the best life insurance is the one that you have in place when you need it. And so I love what it is that I do. I help people, whether they are new parents, whether they are getting ready for retirement, and just everything in between. And so today, if you look at the Facebook, I'm going to be talking about understanding inflation's role in affordability. Right, so we all know the impact of inflation today. Right, so our dollar doesn't go as long as it used to. That's basically what inflation means, is that our purchasing power has decreased. Things are going up. And so I just ran some stats, and I looked at back when stamps first started, right, back in the 1800s. Can anybody guess how much a stamp cost?
2 cents.
1 penny?
A little bit more.
Oh.
3.
Yep, 5 cents.
Wow.
5 cents back in 1847. Now, did you know that on July 14th of this year, the cost of stamps are going up again?
Yep.
Yep.
I do know that because we buy them at the office. Yep, I know.
Exactly. So get your forever stamps. They're going up to 73 cents.
But they're not forever. They're not forever.
They're as good as the next increase.
Wait, I thought they were.
No, they're not.
Wait, that's why you buy forever stamps.
Yes, they are forever. Until the next increase. Right. So,
and your forever
so you make
stamps
sure
are
that you keep
bought
those.
But the
right?
ones that you already have.
They're good.
Oh, they are good?
They are
Yes.
good.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Yes,
So they are good.
okay.
Forever stamps are not forever, so now.
They are.
No, they are
If
forever.
you have them already.
Right. You're good.
You can use the ones that you bought, but if you have to buy more forever stamps,
right.
you're
They're now
down to
73 cents.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. And so it's crazy, right? And so that's the cost of stamps. The cost of coffee. Coffee used to be 67 cents. Right?
I know what I paid.
Right? And so now
In the
coffee
1800s?
is 1950.
She did her
Oh.
research.
Right? And so now you can get it for $5. You can get it for $1. So it just depends on what you like. Some people love Dunkin'. And I love the way Dunkin' Donuts changed their name. Everybody knows, like, they're Dunkin' Donuts, but their highest seller is coffee, right? And so hence changing it to Dunkin'. And then the average cost of a house, right? So back in 1950, a little over $7,300. And as of last year, Lisa probably knows the answer to this one, but a little over $400,000. It's crazy, right? But our incomes haven't gone up as exponentially as inflation, and we wish that it could. And so one of the things that I do is say, how can I help people to combat inflation? Right, so one of the first things is having a foundation for your finances, and that's through budgeting. A lot of people don't like budgeting, the word budgeting. One right here probably. Don't like the word budgeting. But
Nope.
that is the foundation for a successful financial plan. You have to know what's coming in and what's going out in order to be successful when it comes to your finances. What we think in our head is a whole lot different than what we put on paper and what the actual costs are, right? Our bookkeeper here, right, she can tell us that when you ask a question, how much do you spend on this? Everybody's eyes always looks up. It's just like, the answer's not up there, right? We need actual numbers, and that's what the budget allows us to do. Do you have a surplus or do you have a deficit? It's very eye-opening when I speak with my clients. The largest ones are usually groceries and entertainment and subscriptions. Subscriptions are a big one, things that we don't even use anymore. And so those are some of the things. I don't tell my clients to cut everything out, no more coffee, no more anything, because it's not realistic. They're not going to do it. So we just work through that, see if there's anything that we can cut back, cut down, exclude if it's not being used anymore. And so that's the budget, which is the foundation. And then also when it comes to saving and investing, two different things. Right, so we want to save for those rainy days, we want to save for vacation, we want to save for emergency funds, because life happens. And so the rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of expenses, not income, but of expenses. And it's 3 months if you have a 2-income household, because the most likely both people are not going to lose their jobs at the same time. 6 months if it's a single income household, or if you're a single person. So you want to have more of a cushion there when it comes to building your emergency fund. And I tell people, when you look at your expenses, don't just look at how much is 3 months and 6 months and say, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to save that. I say break it down into 30 days. How much is 1 day of expenses for you? And start to build up from there. So if 1 day of expenses is $30, start with $30 a month if you can, and just build it up, because it's better to have something versus nothing. And so as you continue to see it grow, people want to put more in and to see it continue to grow. And so that's one of the things that I love seeing, is that when they say, oh my gosh, I got that $500 so quickly, when before they were in a negative or they were never able to save. But when you have a plan in place, things are possible, and that's what I'm here for. So my little thing here is dream. And so that's one of the things that I help my clients to do, is dream. Because I don't know if you've heard, like after the age of 25, we stop dreaming because life happens, right? We have children, we have bills, we just have all these things. We have a job, we're just stressed out, and those dreams are by the wayside. But coming back and saying, what is your dream? My goal isn't to help you to get out of debt, right? Nobody's goal is to get out. I just don't want to get out of debt. What do you want to do that the debt is holding you back from? Do you want a vacation? Do you want to retire earlier? Do you want to spend more time with your family? So those are the things that I get to help you to be able to dream and say, well, what's standing in the way of your dream? Getting that budget together, getting an emergency fund, saving, and then also the investment part, right? So that's how we combat inflation. We don't just want our money to just sit in the bank earning 0.1, 0.2%. And now with this high yield savings, so we're like, I'm getting 4%, 5%. My thing is, how would you like to get 9, 10, 11%, right? That's a whole lot better than 5%. And then also think, before COVID, the banks weren't giving you anything, but when they realized that people started pulling their money out, right? And I put it under the mattress. The world is coming to an end. I don't know what's going to happen. They said, well, we got to do something to get their money back in-house. And then that's what they started to do. Let's offer them more money. And I don't know if anybody knows, but anytime we make a deposit into the bank, it's a loan to the bank. They take our money and use it to invest. The same investments that they're telling us, don't invest, it's too risky, but they're taking our money and they're investing it. And that's why they have to give us interest, even if it's 0.1%, because we've actually loaned them our money for their use. So when you invest, that's a way to combat inflation, because you're banking on your money growing and outdoing inflation. Yes.
2 minutes.
No,
Wrap it up, Erica.
Do you want me to do this?
No,
Oh,
wrap it up, Erica.
2 more minutes.
Wrap it up. Say you
Isn't
love
it-
everybody.
Isn't it 10 to 15 minutes?
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, but I didn't see that. But I'm just gonna finish up. So with that, you want to budget, you want to save and invest, you want to sit down and just look at your finances at least once a month to see where you are, where you're going. Is it still in alignment with your goals, what you were planning on doing? And then sit down with a professional. And another thing, when it comes to, we're more likely to be disabled than to die, right?
Yep.
And so you want to make sure when you're budgeting and you're looking at your plan, you have a disability plan, or speak to someone in regards to that. I don't do disability, but Val does, but that should be part of your plan, especially
do, Val.
if
I'll
you're
tell
a business
Val.
owner, right? So,
Give it all
thank
to
you
Val.
everyone. Ericka Neville, by
Yay,
American
Ericka Neville.
Services.
Thank you, Ericka, that was great.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you take this.
And then I also have just something, I don't have the goodies like Lisa has, but just want to give these out, and this is just part of networking, period. So, yes, so that one.
I got the whole thing and I think I got it.
Oh, why, thank you. So these are just some items as I was looking up stuff. I used to be in this networking group. It was called Power Match. They're not in existence anymore. But they gave these great tips when it comes to networking and building your business. So it's kind of also a way to like grade yourself and how good you are at networking. And when you're meeting with people for your one-to-ones, just keeping track of it, like how good.
This is awesome, Ericka.
I know it was pretty good when I was going through it again. I said, you know what, I need to
All
start
right,
doing
so
this myself.
I want him to talk to you and to Val, because you guys know how to start these things.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.